What's going on, y'all? This is Jamual. I'm here down in Richmond for the Redskins training camp. Just completing day one for the Redskins. First and foremost, it's my first training camp. Covering it. We'll be covering it this year for a few days. And personally, my experience was, this was pretty good experience, man. I enjoyed myself the first day. There was a lot of good things to pay attention to. First and foremost, there was a lot of things that you have to pay attention to. And I got some tips from some people down there. So first and foremost, I will be answering some of you guys' questions that asked me some things on Twitter. And tell you to the best of my knowledge of how these players were, how these groups were that you asked about. I'm also got some interviews that I'll only play a couple like today. I got Jonathan Allen, and I got some words for some IJP Ryan as well. I'll let you know what he's thinking on his first practice as well with training camp. Um, First and foremost, overall thoughts. I personally thought that the defense won the day, specifically the front seven. I made mention, and you'll be able to read this on the Hog style. Front seven, I think, won the day specifically on the defense. There was constant pressure throughout the day, and obviously this is not a padded practice. They have their helmets on, but that's about it. Essentially, when you're either way, like competition, you're not gonna go soft in practice. That's just something you're not gonna do. They went hard. But anyway, with that being said, the defensive line I think won the day. It was constant pressure on whatever unit was out there. It wasn't every single drop back. The offense won some, but I think the plays in which the offense actually got a big gain. It's more so probably would have been a sack if it was real time. I mentioned Preston Smith getting back there. Um, Junior got a sack. Preston Smith, Ryan Kerrigan they got sacks. Also, there was two plays. One play was I believe if I remember correctly, they sent the blitz. I think I can't remember who blitzed, but a defensive back blitzed on the edge, hitting in between the tackle and the guard. Like it was a sack in like point 0.2 seconds. That was I think on Kirk Cousins, I believe. And then the very next play was a drop back and an interception on Nate Sudfeld, who was picked off by Kendall Fuller. But the pressure was on the interception. The pressure got to Sudfeld pretty quick as well. It was back-to-back plays. The first play was a sack. The second play forced a bad throw by Cousins. So yeah, it was two back-to-back plays where it was a sack and then a errant throw by Cousins, all due to the pressure up front. Overall, I was asked how did Zach Brown look today? How much practice did he give with the first unit? And like it was literally like when a lot of people, if people are telling you that you're asking around like that there was a rotation, there really was a rotation. Like the defensive line, you got a heavy rotation. Zach Brown did get some time with the first defensive unit. He was lined up along, I want to say Will Compton, I believe, and Mason Foster and the other inside linebacker Martrell Spates. They got some time together as well. Zach Brown, and I hate to bring it up, but Zach Brown, he got beat bad a couple times in one-on-one. One where he had a full face plant in the dirt. It was that bad. Uh, I wish I was able to record it. Put it out on the Hogstyles Twitter account so you guys can see it. But it was actually on back-to-back reps, not back-to-back plays, but back-to-back reps. First time he fell. The second time, I think Keith Marshall did him dirty the first time. The second time, I want to say Chris Thompson, played a hand in that. But it's okay because like we all know last year, Josh Norman was put in this type of situation as well with the one-on-ones, and he looked pretty bad in the videos that was coming out. But at the same time, you got to remember it's one-on-ones, and first and foremost, in one-on-ones in open field, if you're a running back and you can't beat a linebacker in one-on-ones, that's an issue. That's a terrible issue, and that happened a couple times. Matt Jones and Robert Kelly, they had some issues where I won't say issues, but they just made some moves and it didn't work. It just didn't work. So and those are two of the backs that aren't really necessarily they aren't necessarily a receiving running back. They're not necessarily known for their route running. So it's all good. Zach Brown, he had some time with the first defensive unit, not much. Was asked about Junior Gillette. How did he look? I would say he had some reps. Like I mentioned, he got a sack in 11 on 11s, full scrimmage, which is something that's we're all looking forward to. But I think the biggest battle with him today, and I wish I was able to speak to him, but he stayed after practice to work on his craft. I don't remember who he was working with, but he stayed after practice. But his biggest battle this week or today was one on ones against Ty Secchi. If you're following me on Twitter, I kept a score count. Junior Gillette started down 2-0 against Ty. Ty won two straight matchups against him. Essentially stonewalled him the first time. He couldn't do anything. The second time he got some type of push, but it just wasn't enough. And it looked like he was pretty slow. Like he was still struggling against Seki, but the third time he made a good move, where he got past Seki. Seki laughed it off. That's what people do. Laughed it off. So Seki and Junior Gillette had their battles today, and obviously, from my count, Ty Seki won today against Junior. I guess who stood out to me in camp? It's first day. I'll answer it though, but it's first day. Jeremy Sprinkle made a couple plays. I would say Kendall Fuller, but Kendall Fuller was a byproduct because he had two interceptions today, off Cousins and off Sudfeld. But it was bad throws. It was bad throws. So all Kendall had to do, was catch the ball, and that's what he did. So Kendall Fuller was in the right position. I say that. But who stood out to me? I say Jeremy Sprinkle. I mentioned, he was kind of pushing off in the end zone in the one-on-ones. But at the same time, his routes was looking good. His size is what makes him a mismatch. Nobody can handle his size. That's what really got him, looking good today. And then on 11 on 11s, full team scrimmage, he made a tough catch over the middle against. I can't remember who was in coverage against him, but he made a tough catch over the middle that was pretty good. And it was I think it was the third team or just Sethfield quarterback. I can't remember everybody that was out there, but it was definitely a good catch. And a good throw, a real good throw by Sethfield as well. So that's who really stood out to me at this point. Terrell Pryor, his first day, pretty quiet. No major plays. Like he caught a couple deep passes, 20 yards, 25 yards, but those are plays where I don't even count because it looked like it was a sack. And most of these pressures came on the right side where Morgan Mosley was. So who knows? I can't necessarily say he had a down day because Morgan didn't struggle. It wasn't glaring. It's a struggle today. So, but it was some pressures coming from his side. That's one thing. That's one thing that stood out to me as well. On the interception too, by the way, the first interception where Kirk Cousins threw. I can't explain what was going on. He threw it to Brian Quick in double coverage, which was a mistake off rips. But at the same time, was that planned? Like just to throw? Did they say throw it to him regardless? And first and foremost, that I don't see that happening in a game. Cousins to Quick, a deep pass like that. I think they'll go with a receiver they trust more down the field. So that's one thing that should be noted as well. But at the same time, Cousins didn't really do anything that stood out in a good way. He held on to the ball a little bit too long. That's one thing that stood out to me today. Nothing outstanding. That's that. I didn't get a chance to see the 7-on-7. I was looking at the defensive line, offensive line, the one-on-ones. So I don't have anything for in terms of what Kirk did over there in the 7-on-7s. I don't have anything for you there. The secondary though, I'm trying to cover as much as I can, but the secondary I like the communication. Heard Swearinger on the side where I was standing. He was communicating very well with Sua, I believe it was. They pretty much knew what to do. So was Bashar Breeland. Bashar Breeland was communicating as well. And that's one thing that you need in the secondary. You need people who communicate because you don't want to just assume roles. You want people to talk actively, and that's what they were doing. They're professionals, obviously, so they probably do this on a daily basis. But at the same time, hearing the communication from the sideline is something that is important. The communication was well, and I also saw Sua in the free position. He was playing deep, while Swearing just stepped up on a play to cover. I want to say it was a tight end over there, but he was definitely playing close to the line of scrimmage there. Um, it was definitely interesting to see how they was lining up. I'm pretty sure that was audible um, to have Sua play deep. So we'll see. We'll see about that. Coming up next, you will hear what I have for Jonathan Allen. He spoke on a couple of things, just his training, his first day of training camp, the coach's plans for him, his defensive line coach Tom Sula, his plans for him. Yeah, so that's what you'll hear right quick. I'll come back after that.
Maybe a little bit, but maybe a little bit. Not really. I'm still new to this, so I'm just trying to take it in day by day and give everything I got on every play.
I may have missed this, but how do you feel after your first practice? Do you feel rusty or good to go?
I definitely don't feel like I'm as good as I could be, but I don't feel like I played too bad. So, kind of like I said, I'm gonna go back and look at the film and see where I can improve on.
Coach Gruden said they have you at the twos and some of the threes, and then they're working you in with the ones. What is the patience level like? What's it like? I know obviously you want to play all the time, you want to be out there, but how do you remain patient as you kind of work your way up?
As long as I'm on the field, I'm happy. I just want to play football. So my time will come, but whenever it is, I'm gonna take advantage of my opportunity. So I really don't control the depth chart. I'm not even worried about that. Coach Tom said that we just rotate in. So that's honestly all I'm focusing on, just playing good football.
All right, I'm back, and that was Jonathan Allen. He spoke on a couple of things. Like I said, I came to the crowd late, so I missed a few things that he spoke on. But he also said something after I left as well. I wish I stayed just a little bit just so I can hear what he was saying. But a question was asked about the reputation of this defense. Basically, they asked about the reputation of this defense prior to him joining, and did it have any effect on how he felt about this defense, anything like that to some sort? And Allen essentially just stated, and I wish, like I said, it would be better coming from him. But essentially just stated, he doesn't care about the reputation of his defense or what it once had. He's worried about, making his team better, and he will make this team better. To that extent, he's definitely someone to pay attention to, obviously. That's where all our eyes are on is Jonathan Allen and Ryan Anderson, the first two picks of this team's draft. So I'll definitely have my eyes on Anderson coming back tomorrow, or I'm pretty sure when you hear this, it'll be today. Like I said, I'll probably have my eyes on him as well once practice starts again. Hopefully it doesn't get rained out, but I'll have my eyes on Allen again as well. And for those who are asking about the players in the secondary, I'll be sure to pay attention to the 7-on-7s again this Friday or tomorrow. Well, today. Damn it. I keep getting confused about the days. But I'll definitely pay attention more today about the quarterback, the offense, and more specifically how they're looking today. But the front seven was looking fine. I was really impressed. Again, this isn't pads, and it's also the first day, so we'll have to see how the offense bounces back. We'll see how the offense bounces back, and we'll also see what the receiving core is looking like as well. Jamison Crowder, he had a few plays today, had him on the end around, but he didn't really get nowhere. Preston Smith set the edge pretty nicely on that play, that one play where he had the end around. They was prepared for it. So yeah, you heard from Jonathan Allen, and I'll leave you guys with the hog style, or my first interview with a player. It's nothing spectacular, okay? I'm gonna just warn you now. But Samaje Perine stopped to talk with me, and I got some words from him, and I'll end it with that. And if you guys got any questions, anything you want us to pay attention to, make sure you follow the hog style. I'm pretty sure you are. And follow me at _AYYMALL. Hit me up. Ask me if you have somebody that you want to pay attention to. I'll try to take a note of them and give you a couple plays to see how he looked. But yeah, I'll definitely do what I can. I said it's a lot, but I understand. I'm being real with you guys, the followers of the All Star. I'm just being honest. It's a lot, man, to pay attention to. But I'm just thankful for this opportunity. I'm trying my best. I'll keep improving each day. And do what I can to help you guys feel more comfortable or feel how you want to feel about this team. We'll see. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to end this with Samaje Perine's interview. Thank you guys for listening. I will have another update for you guys tomorrow after the 3 o'clock practice. Okay, peace.
Hey Samaje, man, how was your first training camp practice? How would you describe it?
It was good. Good weather, great tempo. Everybody flying around. Everybody out having fun. It was good.
Was the speed an issue for you?
No.
Not an issue?
No. I got acclimated to the speed in OTAs.
Okay. So, I guess who could you say, was impressive in terms of, you're a rookie, so who was impressive to you lining up against them on the defensive side?
It's a whole different beast when you get here. Everybody's, just as fast as you are, so you just got to pick it up, and try to match their tempo. But, we have a great defense, and, they're definitely going to be a problem this year.
I know there's no pads on either, but the defense does look a little afraid to kind of wrap you up and then without their pads on. I know you're ready for pads, huh?
No, they're not afraid. They just don't want to hurt nobody. Everyone knows, we go hard, but, we tag off on each other. We're not trying to hurt each other.
In terms of competition, because I understand, you brought in it's Rob Kelly, Chris Thompson, you got Keith Marshall in your backfield, Matt Jones still here. In terms of competition, how have you been handling it? Because you personally, you've been brought in, to add more, more stability to this stable. So how have you been handling the competition?
I just handle it like any competition, It's great competition. We have a lot of young guys, so, we all work and we all get along, and that's the main thing. They're your teammates at the end of the day, and you want to see them succeed just as much as you want to succeed. So, we all go out there and give it our all, and, right now it's just fun. Whoever out there, they're going to be the best guy to do it.
As your position coach, has he told you anything specific in terms of your plans, the plans that he has for you this season?
No.
Nothing specific. Okay, so he just wants to see on the field.
First pro training camp practice in the books. Kind of how does it feel? You're legit now, and this is kind of has it set in yet that it's for real?
Not yet. Still getting used to it, but first practice went really well.